But it sucks to have to do that because some people feel like they have to do that just to get a fight.
Yeah, that's what it seems like in the area. And then like when I was looking for a fight, I was looking everywhere, man. I was looking over like Yuma, Arizona, which I think is like 6 hours away, and then San Antonio, like 8 hours away. And places in New Mexico, Albuquerque didn't really have anything. Like they had fights, but I couldn't get in contact with anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you have to drive 3 or 4 hours. But luckily, this one's less than an hour away. So
Yeah, it's kind of like in the same area.
yeah.
So with that being said, Matt, let's see if do you see yourself going pro? I mean, God willing, you're healthy, everything's good, nothing's going on with life. Would be a pro career in your be something that you'd want to do?
I always say that if it makes sense to go pro, I'll go pro.
Okay.
If I'm good enough, if I have enough fights, you know, if it doesn't make sense, like say I get a big injury, then obviously not, right?
Yeah.
I won't try to push it, but I would like to go pro. Yeah.
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 And that's. Do you feel like you need enough, like you want to get in a couple amateur fights, or do you feel like if you get two good fights and you're like, I think I'm good, I want to go pro? Would that even be a thought, or you're gonna kind of wait and see around who your inner circle is telling you to do what?
I always listen to my coaches. So if Justin tells me to go pro, I'll go pro.
Yeah.
Right. If Mondo tells me to go pro, I'll go pro. For reference, that's my coaches.
Mm-hmm.
But
Shout out to them. Hey.
yeah, shout out to you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's another thing too, is like having the right type of people around you doing anything. Because like I've always, I grew up playing, roller hockey, and everybody's always telling you how great you are all the time. You know what I mean? But then you need those people that are close to you to let you know, like, hey, or this or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because having those yes people in your life aren't that really beneficial. You know what I mean? Having the right type of people around you is beneficial. If they say, you know what, Matt, you should probably just take another fight, or maybe just wait or do this. You need those type of people that, you respect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And lean on them for that kind of experience and things to kind of move down to you, because yeah, you would hate to have somebody trying to set you up for failure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, it's not that big of a deal that I need somebody to tell me that I'm doing great all the time, and then I'm going to gas me up, and then I'm going to go in there and get hurt or not prepare as much as I think I am. So having those types of guys in your corner or in your immediate life is good. It's a good thing, because yeah, it's like, I don't ever think that, that's a good idea. So what about you, Alex? Is like pro? I know you kind of were saying if you go in through, you're not going to do it, but would it be interesting? Like, you want to go pro?
I meant like 0-3, like as a pro, then I'd be like, okay,
Oh, okay, yeah. Like as a career, yeah. The amateur, you're not so worried about as long as you feel like you're progressing.
Yeah, like amateur is like, it doesn't really matter. I do want to, like, maybe like a max, like 10 fights amateur, 6 if I'm doing really good and I'm taking like
that makes
fights.
sense.
Because when you're an amateur, like, your losses don't really matter once you turn pro. So
Yeah.
You want to take hard fights. You want to take guys that are good, that know their shit. Just because it's just gonna be that much easier when you go pro. So if I'm like getting championships and like beating like really good guys at an amateur level within like 6 or 7 fights, be like, all right, like maybe I'll go pro, because also I'm fighting the clock too. I'm 25, so
Yeah.
it's like I got about 5-6 years before I really gotta like slow down.
Yeah.
So hopefully I can hit that 6 to 10 fight mark within that time frame, and then I can go pro and try a couple pro fights.
Yeah. Well, that's a good way to look at it too, because you're being realistic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm sure you guys are around people or seeing people like, I'm all in, baby. This is it. You know what I mean? I get it. You know what I mean? I'm not hating on those kind of guys, and having that mindset is a good thing too. But, talk about, leading up to the fight, Matt, like the mindset, the way you I know I was telling you earlier, I was like, I can't wait to see you kind of like go all in. You know what I mean? Like, I was fucking around, like, yeah, I'm rolling around with you and I could feel your technique and your power, but you're not trying to hurt me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you wanted to, you could, and I could feel it. But I'm just excited to